So the social security number Delft 221 from Holland is a girl who had her head smashed in on the coastlines in the US because you're terrorists. The Americans denied it because they're Americans. And July 20th of 221 were the gray corporations in DC, in New England, and in California. Let's say if you want Arizona, Stanton, New Mexico. Standards, and even if it was New Mexico long ago, that girl already had her head smashed in on those lines. So this is what happened with the intelligence. The girl was conceived in Saudi Arabia, born inside the Vatican, and she had already had her head smashed on the coastlines of the US. She had been extremely famous in Europe and in the UN for space breaks and for science breaks. And Jamila didn't do cancer. The brother of the mother was the head of sciences at Warsaw University. He's 96 or something like that. And he is the one who said that cancer is cheap. Polish intel is cheap. It's like pink and orange. You came from the grays and the blacks. That was the space breaks. The same with the cousin of the father. In Cairo, he said, head of sciences, Saudi Arabian Mir. So Jamila's blood is Russian and Arab, Egyptian, Russian, Saudi, okay, and Grandmaster, so I'm the missing link, but it's not into that. So you don't understand this. In the Eastern Bloc, we say that Poland and Hungary and Romania and Bulgaria and Moldova are the Eastern Bloc. They'll turn in their graves and they'll say, we're Western Europe. We're not the Eastern Bloc, our history, Now, that girl had her head smashed in on the coastline. So when they said every halfpenny in high school and college with the professors, when the basements and metros in the UN, in Rome and Western Europe had the platinum hats with the big heads, I was telling you these big heads, with me, the reason they were doing that was because they said something big happened. You were one of our leaders and we brought you back as Disneyland. So now we have Hotel California with the American girls on the beach. Psycho, I got a PhD, piece of paper up my ass. Got 250 points. You bitches. Because you're taking Disneyland. You're sending psychos. It's not a question of raping or not raping. You don't understand what this is about. What the replacement child is about. You idiots. So when they said every halfpenny of the corporations, they meant it. You killed Intel on the coastlines of California. They said it was very unusual. They called it the Holy Grail. And you sat there on your fat ass and dreamt about cancer for Germany and Italy and Poland while the girl was grays and blacks. Even the Germans are speaking about a space phenomenon from Russia. That was me. Now, instead of insulting the intelligence communities by bringing back Disneyland with a social security number 221 Holland, a particular number in stupid times, and sticking me on the island of San Francisco where you have the psychos and stalkers that follow me from Fresno, your Hotel California, with the dreaming. This was supposed to be my dream, but it's a nightmare I have. Look! After they smashed my head on the coastlines, I'm Disneyland, and now Disneyland's dream is psychopaths! Americanish. Oh, what a beautiful world connected us with Rising Globals. And at the age of 51, I'm 51. 51. Do I look 51? Obviously not. Anyway, speaking about age groups, when that girl had her head smashed in on the coastlines, they did a particular corn cob, Gemetricazzo. There was people who believed that my crab was the original Jamila. The crab, to crabby, the crab was already a dead baby. She was already. Okay? So, I'll show it to you again so that I'm better! I'm a woman. Woman, because I'm going to see this shit again, I'll turn in my grave. So, the corporations that are empty on your fucking coastlines are the grays and blacks of space tech and cancer. And why they put in the pink, I don't know, with the grays and blacks. They just did with me. Now, that girl had her head smashed in on those lines. This girl, so much for trumpeting, is a replacement child. Okay? I built that girl. The only thing I have in common with her is the eyebrows. I keep repeating, and the nails are different. So you are up my ass like there's no tomorrow with your cycles. And I am tired of this on my literal crawlies. Now, shit happens, l'ha fatta Academy. Accadde una volta nell'istoria di 221 that everything was erased and they didn't remember because they are fucking American, the bestest and us and PhDs. And I'm looking at this shit and I'm thinking to myself, maybe it would have been better if the corporations of Grays and Blacks had stayed open in your cheap hose-ass country, Harvard. And cancer, pink corporations, Harvard. But then again, I'm Disneyland. Well, you ask me. You smashed that girl's head on the coastlines. After all, they're the best on the planet. You can waste what you want in the US, can't you? Can't you? Now I have to be afraid of some stupid bitch in California to kill me. Do you know what a genetic graft is? A particular corn cob. Do you know what it is? A replacement child. Do you ever understand what this is? You know this, what this is about? You disgusting man and woman. Intelligence should never do that after they smash somebody's head on all the coastlines. But they did. And you know why. No, darling. Every half pennies is on the coastlines. It makes you feel like woman. It makes you get used to the fact that you can smash something like that on the coastlines and have empty buildings in California. Sure sign of the times, US. Stupid times. That your own corporations are empty on the coastlines. Sure sign. I'm sorry I'm not a woman anymore. Sorry, but you smashed my head on the coastlines. And yes, there's something behind that girl, even if you smashed her head on the coastline. She's just another girl. Or other boys. They exist. Okay, we got it. So this is the old news on the news. So the reason they were bringing back Disneyland and saying to stay out of the Scotland film and Radio Globo, was so that the parents can stay out of the shithole and I can stay out of the shithole. And when they say shithole for me, they actually mean it on the coastlines. Like, mean it. And I was saying it to stupid times and not Greenwich Mean Time and not fucking mentally retarded psychos. And I want to have sex with you and crazy fucking stalkers psychos. In other words, Hotel California. The reason they don't want the baby to die in Intel, I don't know. I don't know why they brought me back. Your women are stupid. Your men are stupid. When you have record breaks in Russia, and you have record breaks in German airspace, and in Saudi Mir, and in the UN in Western Europe, and you have the inner circles of Woolwich, Greenwich Mean Time, Arthur Snowden, and all the others with you since you were a child at the age of 5 in the basements, you know that girl's dead. You know you hurt her on the coastline so badly that you smashed her head and her teeth. The corporations are empty, not because your fucking ass went to Harvard, but because my fucking ass died. Literally. I'm better! I'm better! Kill the bitch! Go to California! Oh, no, dreaming! Matt, if this was my fucking dream, this was my easy life. Ah, yes, because I don't have a brain. So my easy life has the psychopaths. I see Disneyland. Scotland film. Yes! Stupid country. Merda! And you're doing it all on purpose. You see this? They're doing it on purpose for fun. The men to make themselves feel like men and women to make themselves feel like women. And they even know about that shit on the coastlines. Then they have pretenses that shit is emptying with the corporations. Then do it yourself. You can't even open the pig shit of cancer. Brain cancer. I didn't do pink cancer. I did Grays and Blacks. Everyone knows that. Come on, send your psychos, your heinies, Fresno Frisco. Come on. We know everything. We have all the Dr. Parrots up your ass from every hospital on the planet for your psychopath calling Disney. Come on. So much for Delph number. No, it won't come back. None of Grays, none of Blacks, none of Pinks. Corporations. You gained what, fucking asshole, on the coastlines by smashing my head in on the coastlines? What a patriots! Go back to Harvard, va? Maybe that piece of paper will open even big ass. Now, next time you speak about intelligence Next time you speak about smashing one of those kids on the coastlines, and bringing her back like this, and feeling good, and say to me, oh, because she's a Saudi, she's an Arab, she's a Turk, she's a Russian, she's a German, she's an Italian, she's a Brit in the circles, she's in winter, she's in the UN, she's bitch, cheaper. Okay, thanks for erasing me. Disneyland out. Why did it become famous 2-1? What is this history on the coastlines? Shithead. Why did they bring me back in this format so you can feel good about your peach teas? What I spent what? Flying and running? What happened after you smashed my head in? Did you even meet that girl? Or did you only meet Disneyland? Make you feel good inside, doesn't it? Mother Teresa of Calcutta good. Satanist. Now, you don't know my parents. Let me introduce you. My father and my mother were born in pioneer camps beyond the capital cities, Norilsk being Turk and Piasecz being Russian. They were pioneer champions at the age of 5, and they are D1s, jobs, something your shit-hose asses in Frisco and Fresno don't know about. After being pioneer champions at the age of 5, 10, and champions actually at the age of 13 and 14 at very young ages, receiving awards, which they gave away to their colleagues because being a pioneer champion of sports is just a hobby for the parents. Of course, I did sports for health. First, I did sports for speed. Then I did sports for health. Disneyland. Yes, and the Olympic reserves of Europe. But that was after you smashed my head on the coastlines. So, let's continue. Considering I'm not a champion of anything other than prostitution, attempts, and psycho attempts, with all the Dr. Parrots, attempts, with your stupid men, attempts, and girls, attempts to what? Reopen Pig or Grays or Blacks? Oh, but why did she come back? Is that why you hate the genetic replacement child? Is that what makes you woman? Is that what makes you think? Can you please use your brain and your ass? Not. Anyway, let's go back to what is known already, old news on the news. So when they brought back the child at La Sapienza, there were empty buildings at first, second, and fifth floor, but they were not literature. I didn't think it was literature. I knew it was some science and economy. It had to do with new mathematics, physics, and economy. But those buildings were empty, and I thought they were literature. Literally because they were empty. So my worst dream is my original Intel already had her head smashed in on the coastlines, and I'm a replacement Disney. That's America. And because you are the most arrogant nation on the planet, you even sent psychos abroad. So Grabsky was one of you. And how we know that? We know that because Heine from Hells Angels went to Europe and he denied it to me. He came to Fresno, he followed me to New Hampshire, he followed me to New York, he followed me to Texas, he even followed me to England and Poland on my little crawlies. His mother told me. And the best part is this. When Disneyland came out for your cheap whore's ass not to hear, you don't like what you hear. You don't like that girl had her head smashed in on the coastlines and there's empty fucking buildings for that. So you sent your fucking bitches and cheerleaders. Hey, let's kill her! Let's kill her! College kids are sitting there going like this, and I'm saying to myself, you should never have brought back a genetic replacement child after you smashed her head on the coastlines. Ever. The Americans are too stupid. I said the same about the Polish. You know why? Because they are a backward country. The brother of the mother, who's the head of sciences, in his 96, he said, cancer and Polish Intel oranges is not enough for the Greys and Blacks of space. Your birthday was, and is, July 20th of 221, 21st century. That's what you lost on the coastlines, and you will keep losing it. Because they're corporations, and corporations cost. They don't cost in microchips. They cost lines for hours and hours with your cancer brains of pink corporations. Empty. That's your hate for the original Jamila on the coastlines who you smashed her head. You can't even contain your fucking shit hose ass. You sent psychos after her. Hotel California for Disneyland. You don't need every fucking Dr. Parrots on the planet for this one. You just need to stay the fuck out of the US minus Ame minus Rika. with Disneyland, shithead. That's why they brought me back. Now, I don't care what you think. I don't care what your opinion is. I don't care what you know. I don't care about your wisdom or your wisdom beyond ages. Colloquially, I don't care. To each his own in the world. Bitches. You're not even bitches. Try and make a bro. Don't worry, after smashing my head on the coastlines, I'll be the best prostitute on the planet. At least I'll get paid. Fucking whores. You're men and you're women. Now, for the verbal vitriol that came out of these people towards the father and the mother. The father and the mother worked as D1s in Oslo, Tisua, USA. They worked once. A D1. Not DGs, not Director Generals, but D1s. A D1 in a small office in the UN in Rome. And the child was a phenomena in sciences. Do you understand? That you smash your head on the coastlines. We have a potato nose. Because if you smash the intelligence original on the coastlines, then you get woo-hoo. Congratulations for Nick. There was a ship to yacht. Wasn't there? Wasn't there a ship to yacht? A ship to yacht. You don't get away with that shit. You just don't get away with that shit. Not even in China do they deny Falun Gong. What that girl was famous for? Who was with her before? What happened over time? And who the fuck is Fresno for the parents on retirements? With all the flying beyond the library, above the library, and behind. And the world is me, what? Now you see. That's the hydrogeographics. Those are the hills. That's the roof. Roof goes up. There's one hill that's up here. There's another hill that goes down like this, and then it goes like that behind, on the ground behind. Here, you have a hill actually, and you can see it sort of fading away, and then it fades sort of, and then it turns right, left, and then it just heats. There's another thing right there. Now, the mountains are here. The mountains are here. The hills, and then, here, and then, and then there's another mountain right here. Here, it goes right here. It goes down there. And that little pink light right there. Let's see. How many flyings? How many runs on hills? How many mountains? How many mountains? How many hills? Huh? And what's the scrollies of the baby? Huh?